Hello and welcome to Shannon Gardens. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about primroses. I recently went to a local nursery and I was looking for some color for a container, just some seasonal color to help balance some daffodils that are about to bloom. And so upon looking, I thought I was going to go my usual route of pansies or violas, and then I came across primroses. Now I've never planted these before, but I was just so surprised at the variety of colors and how vibrant those colors were. I just thought they were beautiful and really would add a nice color and balance out those daffodils that are about to bloom. So I wanted to share with you guys the colors that I did find on the nursery visit, which I'll show here in just one moment, and then also share some of the information I found about primroses as well. All right, so let's take a look at the nursery visit and I'll see you guys back here in a second. Okay, so I am looking at primroses today and they've got several different colors here. And these bloom in my area, which is zone 7B, right now and through early spring. So I'm just gonna add a pop of color, I believe, to a couple of containers to tie in the colors of the daffodils that are about to bloom in that area as well. So they've got these gorgeous pinks and just a light pink, dark pinks, white and purple, just all sorts of colors to really add a nice pop of color in your garden in the wintertime. And here's a closer view of some of the colors that are offered. And again, they're just so vibrant and can really stand out in your landscape. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys the primroses that I picked out for my container to help offset the daffodils that I have that are just starting to bloom. So the first one I got is called a Heather Champagne. Now I'll hold that up. It's a blush color, and then if you'll notice in the middle, it's got a nice yellow color right in the center there, and I thought that that would play nicely off of the daffodils. And then I also got a yellow, again playing off of the daffodil color, and this is called a De Nova mix. So you can see it's got yellow, and then in the middle it's got kind of more of a orangey, stronger yellow, like a golden orangey kind of yellow right in the middle there. And then as the backdrop, in keeping with my yellow and green kind of theme, I got this golden variegated Japanese sweet flag grass, and I just thought that would play nicely off of the yellow as well and would provide a nice backdrop for the primroses that I'm going to plant. So I thought that that would all look nice and tie in together for the daffodils and just provide a little bit of color that will take me into spring and when I fully do all my containers. So I did want to share some information that I found out about primroses. One of the first things I found out is there are more than 500 species, and they said an infinite amount of hybrids. So that's a lot out there, and I would imagine that there's going to be different varieties in different zones that are hardy, more in some zones than in others. Now, with all the varieties that do come with the primrose, I found that they are tolerable in a lot of zones, particularly zones 3 through 8. Now, with that, in the warmer and cooler climates, it said that they are more annuals, and then in your milder climates, they will be more of a perennial plant. So you're really going to want to check into what zone you live in and see if that is more of a perennial type of area or if it's more of an annual. For me, in my area, I've only seen them advertised as annuals, and I imagine that's because we have pretty hot summers, and so they probably would not survive. That is my assumption anyway. Now, I did find that primroses are not suitable for zones 9 and up, and that is because they need winter chill to be able to survive and bloom. I did also find that these primroses prefer well-drained soil, and they also thrive in partial sun. Now, it did say that they can go in shadier spots and partial sun. They said particularly they would prefer morning sun and afternoon shade. I did find in a few places where they said that they could tolerate some full sun, but that you really have to stay on the watering and helping and keeping them cool. So it's best to have them in part sun. I also find that these are considered more woodland plants and that you tend to find them growing under trees or under shrubs. And it kind of reminded me of when I did a video about hellebores. I kind of found the same thing with that with the hellebores, and that was suggested a lot in my research. So I thought, well, this might be a good plant to maybe plant with hellebores as well. Now, just like the hellebore, I did also find that these are toxic to humans and to pets. So be sure, as always, to do your research when you're bringing in a plant to make sure that that is going to be an appropriate plant for your environment and space. Okay, so I believe that I am ready to go ahead and get these in my container. I can't wait to see them. I'm so ready to get some color in my containers, and especially to tide me over till spring when I do the big container cleanup and really get to planting for spring and summer. So this is going to help tide me over in the meantime. And so I'll get these planted and then I'll show you guys the end result. Okay, you guys, the container is planted. And I love the way the primroses are playing off of each other and those beautiful yellows, along with the grass in the background with that bright yellow and green as well, which will play off the daffodils nicely. And then we have the yellow of the daffodils, which are just beginning to give us the first signs of spring. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I was so excited to learn about primroses and really to see the variety of color that is available out there. I just thought it could go in any garden. So thank you guys for joining me again. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, happy gardening and goodbye.